primary market remains in focus, Sharad, right? You have three big IPOs coming in. There's Okla, there's Lenskart, and there's also Studs Accessories, which is coming out with its IPO. The price band for this one is set between 557 to 585 per share. It opens on 30th of October and ends on 3rd of November. It's going to be a pure offer for sale for this particular IPO. And of course, for viewers, I'm sure they would have seen the helmets of Studs, but they design, manufacture and sell two-wheeler helmets and bicycle helmets under the Studs and SMK brands. So that's with regards to where the Studs Accessories is concerned. Of course, we'll speak to the management as well. Sidhartha Bhushan, Khurana, MD in Stud Accessories, joining us now. First of its kind, IPO. What is the thought process and the details of IPO, Mr. Khurana?
This is like the first of its kind in India, at least, and I think second globally helmet company to get listed. And before, I think, let me tell you more about the company and also about the IPO and the listing, right? So we are into manufacturing of motorcycle helmets, accessories, and sporting helmets. So that's what we do under two brands, which is Studs and SMK. And it's a historic, Studs is a historic brand, was established in 1975, and SMK was established in 2016, which is our premium brand. In terms of, because we've been in the industry for about 50 years now, so it's a pure OFS, and obviously we've worked for 50 years and we seen some rewards. So there are no other objects of the offer. It's not a primary, it's a pure OFS. And the promoters and other selling shareholders, they're selling about 19% of equity of the company.
Well, a very interesting company actually coming in, and this is of course the two-wheeler space. You're actually dealing in helmets as well. Sidhartha, what are the growth plans for the company going ahead? And of course, you have already mastered your core business. Is there any diversification plans there? And if it is there, what would be these companies, or maybe the products which you are trying to venture into new places?
So first I'll talk about the growth, and historical growth I'll talk about more. So if you look at, as you said, the margins have been growing decently, and going forward, the strategy would be more around exports. Domestic market is growing, and the recent GST news for the motorcycle sales is going to help the motorcycle industry. So we expect the domestic industry, we have been growing decently, and for the export side, I would say that going forward, export is a bigger growth strategy for us, and it's a larger addressable market. The total addressable global market is about $2 billion, and that's where I think the most of the growth strategy in the future lies around. And on the domestic side, I think as I said, the recent GST change on motorcycles, not on helmets, but motorcycles, is going to drive the motorcycle market. And obviously, we are a derivative of motorcycles in any case.
Okay, Mr. Khurana, exports form 22% of your total sales. To what extent do you see them contributing? What's the strategy going forward for the growth of this business, and what are the tailwinds that you're seeing?
So I think on the export side, as I said, right, the total addressable market is $2 billion on power sports helmets. When I say power sports helmets, it's scooters, motorcycles, and EVs. So, and then there is other market like our other verticals, which is sporting helmets and which is accessories business. So there are also large markets in export. So I think in exports, the addressable market is quite large, and that's where we're seeing the growth coming out of, as I said, right? And the strategies around growth, we are growing in a lot of countries. Historically, if you see, our last year growth is close to about 30%. And historically, we have been growing decently in exports. So I think in exports, it's more of a market share gain than the market itself growing substantially. The market is expected to grow at about 6% as per the industry reports. But I think our growth strategy, our price to quality ratio on the products and the acceptability of the products in these markets, like our bigger markets would be markets like Colombia, markets like Australia. We find a lot of traction for the brand, and the brand is getting more and more known there. On the domestic side, you said, yes, there is competition. So it's a three-player who are substantially bigger in the market, which is us, Vega and Steelbird, as you said. And I think the market itself in India is growing. So I expect as the motorcycle market grows, we, as I said, are a derivative. So that's how it looks like at the moment on the domestic side.
That's interesting. Mr. Khurana, what are your capex plans as it is in OFS? So what will be the expansion strategy going ahead?
So we are establishing a new manufacturing facility right now. We're calling it as Manufacturing Facility 5. And this new facility is expected to start in last quarter of this year. But the revenues will really start flowing in from the next year for that facility. And this facility is being built in 2 phases. The first phase will start now, and the second phase will start later, maybe 1.5 years after that. And this is gone, our current capacities are 9 million. And with this new capacities coming in, the total capacity will go to 12 million products. Now, the total capex on this new capacity will be close to 150 crores, out of which almost 50% has been done. And the balance will be done, as I said, in 2 phases. And it'll start, the first production will start in last quarter of this financial year.
Well, that's a pretty interesting viewpoint coming in. But of course, why should the investors invest in the IPO? You know, what are the top 3 reasons? You know, if you had to ask your prospective investors, what should be there? You know, what are your key pointers?
Okay. So I think the first is the legacy of the company itself. It's about a 50-year-old company. So there is enough history on the company for the investors to see. The second big thing I would say is the historical growth that we have given. And it's historically, if you see, the numbers look pretty good. There is no debt in the company. It's a profit-making company. So decent returns historically. And the third, I would say, is, as I said, the export and domestic side, right? Both are exciting for us. So these are the 3 big strategies, I would say, or rather the things that investors can see.
All right, Mr. Khurana, thank you so much for giving us those details and, of course, telling our investors as to why.